Alright guys, welcome to the stream. Although I imagine nobody has popped in quite yet, but while I'm checking to make sure that I've actually gone live on both Twitch and YouTube, I guess that will give people some time to jump in. So I came back to this game after last time, when I guess what happened was I was playing an old version of the hack and I updated to the new version and continued an old save file, and apparently the game had been updated so much since the last patch that it was going to affect the rest of the game, so I had effectively wasted all the time and effort that I put into playing that time. So what I did was I went and started over and got back to the point where I was at and a little bit past it, which I'm sure you'll see if you were here last time. But anyway, let me tweet out the links that I'm live, because I didn't get a chance to do that, and then we'll just pick back up, I guess. I couldn't decide on whether to do a game stream or an on-point episode tonight, but I didn't really have enough prepared for the on-point stream, so we'll stick with this for now. I'm using the restream chat as well, and apparently that is working very poorly. Well, I'll just click back and forth between them, I guess, and see what happens. Alright, whatever. Off we go. Oh, I think I'm gonna get the bird here and just ride there. Screw it. So how's everybody doing this evening? Oh, I should probably switch back to live chat on YouTube, even though I'm using two different rooms. Whatever. Alright. Enough messing around with that stuff. For some reason, I don't know if this is a glitch or what, but I can only run like half the time on the world map. In towns and dungeons, I can dash whenever I hold the button down, but sometimes when I'm outside, I can't, and other times I can, which is really strange. I don't know what's up with that. I'm doing alright, I suppose, thank you. Terrible? Oh no. Well, if you would like to elaborate on that, feel free, but if not, understandable, and I definitely hope that improves. Yeah, this is a ROM hack because I haven't gotten to the point yet. I guess I've seen one boss that was added. When you get to the Mist Village, another version of the Mist Dragon attacks you. That's the difference that I've seen so far. The world map was a little bit different by where the Mist Village was as well. Those are the only two differences that I've noticed so far. So I think there's more later on in the game. Dissidia NT. You know what? I've actually never played any of the Dissidia games, so I would be uninformed on that particular topic. Are they good, or is this a controversial thing? A lot of love and hatred on both sides or something? I don't know. I mean, I'm generally not a big like crossover person. I kind of liked the fact that that Final Fantasy's worlds were always kind of self-contained. So it sort of goes into like weird fan fiction-y territory to have that all mashed together. I guess it could be kind of cool if it was, if it was done well. I mean, like I said, I'd have to play it to really decide. Although, there are obviously instances where I feel differently. Like, I really enjoy, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That's, like, one of my favorite fighting games, so crossovers can work. Hey, good evening. YouTube's disabled mobile live streaming for anyone with under 1K subs. Seriously? Haven't exactly been gaining much of a following outside of some other creators. Oh, that really sucks, man. I don't understand what kind of choice that is. Are they trying to make it intentionally more difficult for people to get into using the site? I mean, they already went back on the monetization, so that's kind of messed up. And I'm not really sure I understand the purpose, Oh, I have to go to the Devil's Road, right? I'm not even paying attention, but I guess I know the game well enough that for the most part I know where to go. Hopefully there aren't changes that, make that confusing and then I don't follow it. But we'll see. A quick dab. Got to dab on those haters, right? No, YouTube has definitely been anything but that. I don't really know what... I'm not even sure they know what they're doing, to be honest, but what can you do? I mean, that's why I was more about using StreamMe when that was around, but that did not last, so... I think you... Oh, you know what? I know what you have to do. You have to go over here to the inn, and you find Yang hanging out with these soldiers. The Yang Gang. There's a little current topical humor for you. What is Ralph doing? I don't know. Isn't he just like in New York or something? Yeah, I'm just disappointed because it's like one of the, it's a streaming site where I got a decent sized following rather quickly and then just up and disappeared. And I mean, I'm not sure, I don't know everybody that was following me there is following me here, so it's very well possible that I actually lost some people that have no idea how to find me otherwise, or would just maybe forget. You know how fickle the internet can be. What am I doing? I don't really need to do much of anything except cast like one or two strong spells and he should go down. Everything but that horse channel? There was a horse channel? I think I missed out on that one. Yeah, I saw some of the I saw some of the screenshots from the game, and that, I mean, I will say those looked pretty cool. So you were into streaming, Wild Fox? What kind of stuff do you do? Yeah, I mean, I never really stopped using YouTube 100%. This was just going to be more of like Stream Me was going to be dedicated streaming, obviously, and YouTube I was just going to post videos whenever I decided to, motivate to actually make one. I did put one out not too long ago, though, if anybody has not seen that yet, so. Wasn't really planned. The funny part is I was actually somewhat on a miniature internet hiatus, and then the topic just came along, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I feel the need to comment on this. That's usually how it goes, though. Alright, we got the key. Let's go. Oh, did I even go and grab all these free items? Not that they're all that useful, but I guess I didn't bother to loot. Might as well do it. And then there's some over in the grass back here. Alright, let's see. I fell a little bit behind here. Is there really a void, though? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people doing nightly streams. Plus, I still go on the show sometimes, so I don't know. Let's see. I mean, if I had, 1,200 plus viewers every time I did a stream, I'd actually be pretty satisfied, but that's just me. Started streaming on Stream Me as well, but stopped after it nuked itself. Yeah, I don't know if DLive has mobile or not, but they're a little strange when it comes to streams. Was there anything interesting in those boxes that were open when you played the first time? No, it was pretty much the same shit that's in there in the regular version of the game. But I guess the guy that made the hack, I hope it's a guy because I don't know. I may be misgendering them. The individual that made the hack told me that it would affect the game later down the road. So I figured that I'd end up missing out on better stuff later on. Did some mobile live streaming around town. Never had a note. Oh, that... the thing is, service is pretty spotty where I live. I mean, obviously, if I'm in a, more in town, I could probably, leech off of a store's Wi-Fi or something like that. But I have considered doing sort of out and about streams. I don't know how interesting that would be. I'm not gonna go. I don't think I'm ever gonna go like full blown IRL as they call it. But just like, for example, if I'm bored while driving or something like that, you know, maybe firing up a stream if you have a dash mount or something, that would be just kind of a relaxed chat stream, I guess. No, well, I mean, it's a Super Nintendo version, but I don't have the capability to stream directly from my official Super Nintendo. I do have one though, if that counts for something. Yeah, this is a I don't know if you just popped in, Barry, but this is a somewhat modified version of the original. It's a patched version, which I guess, excuse me, adds some new stuff later down the road. I'm not 100% sure what. I mean, I know there's some weapons and abilities and bosses, but I don't know if there's anything story related. That would be the magic of emulation. The equipment to stream from a Super Nintendo is like $400. Good lord. Is it really? I mean, you could do the Super Nintendo Classic pretty easily. I have the... What is it called? I think it's called a Mira box or something. It was like $99, and that's how I stream PS4 and Switch. Anything with an HDMI, it can handle, so... And I imagine if maybe you got like a converter cable or something where, you know, it gets you know, such and such format to HDMI, maybe you could run it through there. I haven't tested anything like that, so I definitely would have to give it a try before saying with certainty. Yeah, I mean, the thing is I love playing on the original hardware, but again, there's the streaming convenience with emulation, and it's also a matter of the setup that I currently have. The room I'm in is not as large as I would like it to be, so until I move and upgrade to a larger room, I'm probably not going to be doing like much official hardware, just because I don't have the space to have it set up. It sucks because I have, you know, a ton of retro games and whatnot, but they're all in storage bins. But Final Fantasy 2 or 4, as it is in reality, is among them, so. Well, didn't they kind of do... They kind of did that to Final Fantasy 4 on DS, right? Although, I don't know. I really love the sprite graphics. Maybe it's just the time I grew up in, but, you know, these are like my favorite style of graphics. I guess now, by comparison, you know, maybe they don't look good to a lot of people, but I really like the art that goes into it. Chocobo Wrangler. 100 to 200 games for the PS. Wow. Yeah, I don't know how many exactly I have. I did make like an inventory list back, but that was back in probably 2011 or 12. So I have acquired more games since then, obviously. The thing is I've never really been one to sell off my stuff, like my games. So whatever I've accumulated over the years, I mostly have. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw that I did do a game sale like a week or two ago. I think, I don't even remember now. But those were actually just extra copies of things that I had sealed, so I still have those games. Yeah, Metal Slug looks really cool. I really like the Chrono Trigger style as well. I mean, I guess if I had to pick, I'd probably say like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI are my favorite type of RPG sprite graphics. Breath of Fire 2 and 3 look pretty cool as well. There's so many. Yep, Secret of Mana, definitely. Definitely up there on the list. Yep, I have PS4. I like how your username is just question mark exclamation point. Yeah, it's a hacked version of Final Fantasy IV. You know what? Let me grab the official romhacking.net page and I'll drop it in the chat for you guys, and you can take a look for yourselves to what is included in it. There you go. What is up with all these back attacks? Well, I haven't tried. I know what you're talking about when you mention the Brave New World one, but I've never tried it myself, so I don't know. I don't know much about it beyond the title. Right now, the only difference that I've come across so far is a small difference in the world map and one extra boss, which was when you walk into the Mist Village, the Mist Dragon attacks you again from behind in like a different new form. Which I guess looks the same but is just recolored, if I'm remembering correctly. Yep, I have a PSP that I hacked as well. Which, luckily, does still work. But I know a lot of people that their PSP didn't really seem to last very well, so I don't know if they're just kind of delicate handhelds. How hard are they to come across now? Like, are they expensive, or if you try to get a used one? I think my PSN is just Scratch Point, if I'm not mistaken. I know that sounds silly, but I haven't paid that much attention to like my profile thing on there. I believe that is the same. I mean, isn't that kind of an ironic statement if your name is Magical Fruit Basket? You actually like Dirge of Cerberus better than Crisis Core? I didn't get to play that one very much. I remember it being a little bit strange. Crisis Core I actually did complete. I didn't think it was a bad game, but what I did think was that it was very repetitive. The story was kind of interesting, but I hated how every mission, regardless of what the goal of the mission was, that you had to just kill all the enemies in the area, and that was it. I don't know why I just went in a circle, but it's cool. I did not know that you could use a mouse. That's interesting. I never had a PS2 mouse. Was that a thing? I guess it would kind of make sense since that was where they started with very basic online connectivity, right? Aimed to make the game more challenging. They also tried to make every character viable. Some changes include only give characters access to a few espers. Yeah, I mean, I'm not crazy about that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, you could overpower your characters in FF6, but, I mean, it took effort to do that, so... Well, I might have to do that at some point. For some reason, I thought I was missing a treasure chest, but I guess not. It's alright, more experience points. Well, when it comes to these games, it's hard for me to get into a hack of them just because, you know, in my opinion, I really like the originals the way they are. So it's very easy for them to screw it up, in my opinion. It's like, why would I play that when I could just play the original version, which I love, you know, the way it is. If you didn't get all your characters to level 99, can you really say you finished the game? I didn't play 15. Maybe I will at some point if I can get it at enough of a discount. You know, it definitely didn't look like the thing I would want to pay full price for. You know, the thing is that it could be a perfectly good game. It's just that Final Fantasy as a series has deviated so far from, you know, this kind of style that to me it's like it's just a different series at this point. And I know that it grew with the times and with technology and whatnot, and I understand all that, but it's just the kind of thing where it's like, this is the way I remember Final Fantasy, so this is the style that is inherently Final Fantasy to me. More Kingdoms Heartish. Or Heartsish. If I remember right, only thing different in 7 PC version was that you got an extra Chocobo lore. Didn't the Steam version of the game... I don't know, it seemed like they improved the graphics somewhat. Maybe I'm wrong. But in the, what was it? In the PS1 version of Final Fantasy VII, I didn't remember the character models having, you know, the little line for a mouth on them. And I remember seeing that in the Steam version. I was like, wait, was that always there, or am I losing my mind? Oh, Steam version gave every field model mouths. Alright, well, so I'm not crazy. Yeah, I really like Final Fantasy Tactics as well. Of course, I kind of looked at it as its own thing, you know. Well, I'll keep that for now. I do wish they would do the Game Boy Advance Final Fantasy Tactics games. Well, I guess one was Advance and one was DS. They were all right, but it didn't have the same appeal as the main Tactics game. So if they would do another, like an actual sequel to Final Fantasy Tactics, that would be kind of cool. But they'd have to do it with, like, you know, as much of the original team as possible who was behind it, because it has to have, like, a special, you know, a specific feel to it. I'm not sure that... I want to say I'm not sure I trust Square to do it this day and age, but they have proved that they can still do you know, classic style RPGs when they want to. I mean, look at Octopath Traveler. So they still have the capability to do it. Okay, that's twisted. I don't even know how to respond to that. Well, other than with a no, because that's just fucked up. After 2 online games, 2 long hallway games with abysmal sequels, and 1 incredibly boring game, 15 was a good redemption for the series. I mean, I guess I could see where you're coming from on that. Alright, so I have to destroy the arms first. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal because this boss isn't that difficult, but... I wonder if stop works on them. I know that... Nope, I guess not. I was going to say I know that, in general, the status effect spells are more effective, but... not the case this time. Not really too much for my spellcasters to do as long as he has wall. It's kind of funny if you think about the things that were censored in these games, and then, you know, you have the boss here and you just could basically chop his arms off and that's perfectly fine, but they wouldn't let you see like a, what is it, like a pentagram, or the dancer that throws off her dress, even though it's like a little sprite and you can't make out any body parts. Just the standards are funny. 30 gigabytes of food textures. Well, how else can you take photos for your Instagram? Well, I think it was more of an American Nintendo of America choice back then. Religious censorship has been replaced with protect the women and children censorship, which is odd considering that we have video game rating systems. Like, what is the point of saying okay, this game is intended for adults, and then you go and you dumb it down as though it's going to be played by children, or as though it was made for children? Doesn't make much sense, does it? And then you take into account that the people that are like supporting it being censored are adults themselves. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I like to be able to decide for myself if I want to engage with something or not. Funny how Sony is the one cooking and Nintendo is more flexible. Yeah, we've kind of entered this weird alternate dimension where it's now Nintendo that's been better about that kind of stuff, and Sony's like, we got to put some rays of light over that. Can't have that. How times change, and yet they stay the same. It's like one side wants to censor at some point, and then the other shifts to that for a different reason. It's just silly. So there were phones in Final Fantasy 15. Did they have Instagram in their realm? Oh man. If they did, I bet, what is it? Was that Sid? The girl, is that Sid, or is that like his granddaughter or something like that? What, or was she just the female Sid? I was gonna say she probably has an account with 1 million followers or something like that, where she just posts, suggestive photos of herself. Cindy, there we go. That makes sense. Sony added alcohol references to mock Nintendo's anti-alcohol policies. Now they censor anything that has boobs. Oh yeah, there's one more boss. Wonder if I should even bother to... Well, I guess. We'll take a free rest. Recover that precious MP. I mean, Lightning 3 is pretty much going to destroy this boss anyway. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII at the time was actually the reason that I got a PlayStation. Now, to be completely honest, Final Fantasy VII did not really meet my personal expectations. I mean, it was still a completely playable game. I completed it, a few times myself. But it wasn't my favorite the way it turned out to be a lot of other people's. Scared the water right out of him. Well, see, some people get very, very upset. Because, like Carusi here, you said 7 is your favorite, but you say, objectively speaking, 6 is better. There's a lot of people that would not make that statement. They'll be like, 7's my favorite, so that's the best one. I don't know what your metric is for judging whether, why you think it's better. I have my own reasons, obviously. But it's interesting how people react over things like that. And that's one of the things that gets me when you have people that are like out there saying shit like, I'm gonna end racism or something like that. And then I'm like, my God, people, do you not even realize that you have people out there that hate each other over video games? Like, what? Are you kidding yourself? I don't know. It just makes me laugh. Well, so much for Think of the Children at this part. I'm not even sure I understand why people want the remake. From what information that they've released on it so far, it sounds like it's going to be a fundamentally different game. Yeah, Kefka was a pretty good villain. I mean, he captures the whole the true evil villain thing pretty well. I suppose some people think that lacks complexity, but then take a look at 7, where it felt like they were trying to go for more complexity with, say, like Sephiroth, and then it just ended up being, pretty convoluted. This scene just got the game banned in Australia. I mean, I feel like if they were going to try to do a modern take on it, they should try to stick to the core gameplay. But like you said, it seems like they're changing the gameplay completely, which to me, that obviously has a major effect on the game itself. Battle system in an RPG is pretty damn important. I don't like any Final Fantasy without turn-based combat. See, that's kind of the camp that I'm in. I really like the turn-based aspect. I like being able to control all of the characters rather than just kind of, oh, okay, I'm going to be... I choose to be this main character, then the AI takes over for the rest, or I just assign like AI presets to them and that's how they behave. I'm just not a fan of that, really. It works in some games. I mean, for example, I really liked Tales of Berseria, and it kind of has that sort of, you pick one character to control in the battle. And I didn't have a problem with that. 13, when I first saw the trailer for that, I was like, wait, when did Final Fantasy become Star Wars? And then I saw my friend play quite a bit of it, and I just kind of checked out on that. It didn't interest me in the slightest. And I'm surprised that they went for like one game wasn't enough. They had to do 2 more. Well, the remake is probably going to be one of those things where, it's just going to be impossible to meet expectations. It's a thing that people have been hyping up for years now, and everybody's going to kind of have a different vision, on what their ideal remake is going to be. I mean, sure, you could probably argue that in any case that could happen, but with something like 7 and the way people seem to feel about it, it could spell disaster. Worlds just get smaller. Yeah, I kind of feel like that too. I mean, granted that if you take into account like the sprite tiles and whatnot, it's probably smaller, but the worlds in these games felt large. I guess I have to go do the whole Dark Crystal thing. Do everything exactly the same, give it better graphics. I mean, to be honest, that's probably all they have to do to get a really... to cash in. 13 has the worst character. Yeah, that's another thing. I haven't found myself very invested in the characters. I don't like... It's Nomura that's doing the character designs now, right? Like, ever since 7? I think maybe they did... what's the other guy? Amano? Maybe for 9, right? But yeah, I like Amano's character designs better. I'm trying to think, do I want to go here or do I want to try to do that other part? I guess I'll do this first. Damn it. Can't you land here? Am I crazy? You don't have to land way out there, right? Maybe I am nuts. I thought you could land like right in that spot. Seems like I just keep overdoing it, right? Yeah, I can land there. I know I've always done it. What the fuck? I don't know if it's like something with the controller or what, but it's so touchy that I can't get on that spot. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's where I'm coming from here. I might just do the walk in a second because this is getting fucking stupid. Let me see. Wait, you have to land there. Like, there's literally nowhere else, right? Okay, is this like a glitch with the hack? Because I can't land on my spot. It either oversteps or doesn't. I know it's not like this in the original. Well, that's like the dumbest problem ever. Just land right on the motherfucker. Yeah, it's like off by one panel or something. Because I know I've played Final Fantasy IV like thousands of times at this point. So this is not a real problem. This is not happening right now. Never forget. Never forget. That's some shit. Defeated by a parking spot. Yeah, we get this far. Come on. Come on. Isn't there a chocobo forest? I could probably cross the thing, right? Well, let me just do a little walk here. Of all the things to encounter, when we actually do make it to Troya, I'm going to complain to the... Yeah, it is like a pixel off, and for some reason it won't... It's not me, is basically what I'm trying to say. I'd be fine admitting if it was. I've had some stream failures before, but that I have not seen happen before. There. Holy shit, that is expensive. Well, I'm covered on cash. There's a reason for that, though. I'm gonna try to get armor that we can all wear and not be weighed down in the cave. I don't know, it seems like the inventory is a lot smaller in this version than I remember. Don't need these. To use the absolute worst armor. I don't remember what the cursed rings do, but I kept accumulating them. She's not really going to be able to use a good weapon either. Healing staff. This guy doesn't have jack shit anyway. I think claws were acceptable. I don't remember about flame rods. They might be alright. Guess if I had a bow, I could use that. There's the guy doing the whole peeping Tom routine. Oh, is it in this game? I thought that was in, I thought it was Final Fantasy VI where the rings transformed. Maybe it happens in this one too. Some magic school or something. Use a second controller to play with a friend. I wonder if that's in the original dialogue, because there's no setting for it. But I do remember discovering when I first played the game when I was a kid that you could use 2 different controllers in battles. But it's more of like a disciplined 2-player thing where you have to like mentally assign yourselves characters and then only use the controller when it's their turn, because you can both control anybody since there's no setting for it. In Final Fantasy VI, there's an actual setting in the menu where you can assign your character to a controller, and I like that. I don't think anything important is going on up here. Move it, old lady. It's the black chocobo thing. Interesting. We'll absorb that element. Thank you for that. Oh no, maybe they're down here. And the other thing is the membership shit that you have to pay for. So you think that's feed in there? Or is that a little bit of bird droppings? Hey, what's up? I think I just need to go straight to the ladies there. Okay, did you see that? When I walked outside, I had like hyperspeed walking again. There's definitely some kind of glitch, because that doesn't happen all the time. Oh, you have to encounter Edward as well. All right, thanks for stopping by. See you later. How's it going, Shivers? Welcome. That prince is shifty as hell. Isn't it because of the whole twin harp thing? I mean, I could be. I know that's what it. That's how you broadcast the music, but maybe there was some other type of connection. Yeah, bring the crystal back and they'll lend it to me. Do we get to loot? I think we do. Probably not going to have enough inventory space. Yeah, but see, they're promising me things. See Final Fantasy, I click watch. Thanks, appreciate it. You as well. I'm doing alright. I could complain, but you know, what's the use? That's what Twitter is for. Wait, does she give this stuff to you now? Oh no, I think it's after. You have to prove your worth first. And we don't have any worth. Promise things if we only do as they say. You might be onto something there. See, now I'm moving at hyperspeed. And for whatever reason, the game is like 1 pixel off and I can't stand on the spot where you need to land. I wonder if it has to do with the fact that he edited the world map. Because there are spaces on the world map that are different from the original. And I'm curious if that had some sort of effect on it. Maybe not being able to land there in the usual spot is supposed to provide some sort of extra challenge that I'm just not understanding. Is that what's going on here? Am I being taught a lesson? All right. Well, I'm actually using a controller that is basically a super... Whoa, shit. I gotta fight. So there's now a boss fight here? See, here's another difference. I'm using a controller called the iBuffalo Classic USB gamepad, which it's basically a Super Famicom or Super Nintendo controller. This is the closest thing, like, outside of the official controller that I've ever used. No, that's not to say it's perfect. Maybe there's something to that. This creature has a bit more HP than I anticipated. Damnation. Okay, Sid in the back row is a waste. I realize that. The vulture was preying on them. Okay. Yeah, that's the right formation. Favorite Sid? You know, probably this one. Six's was extremely weird. The guy in the raincoat, the banana suit. Oh, seven is probably up there as well, even though it's not my favorite game. He's just hilarious. Did they change this place up? Anyway, let's grab the bird and go. See, they changed it up just a little bit. For some reason, we have to have a desert here now. So you have to walk to the cave. I don't know what the purpose of that is exactly, but it's a difference nonetheless. All right, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy this soundtrack for just a moment, and I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, and I will be right back. Alright, we're back. Let's see what has changed about this cave here. Since there's a desert here, I wonder if... Well, in the old version they had trees, but yeah, you're right. They can't land on the desert with the airship. But of course, the black chocobo can land in the forest, so they had no choice but to use desert. Oh, I guess it's just the same type of enemies. I thought maybe they switched it up. I do see I've got a couple of you guys on Twitch as well. But the chat for Restream is not working very well. Nazi B. Trollisberg? Well, hello. How's it going there? Okay, now I gotta switch up my equipment. I mean, Knights of the Round was cool the first few times. my issue with it was that later on, when you had to use it a lot, you had to sit through the whole sequence over and over and over, and it was pretty long. Cool spell, no doubt, but damn, that was crazy. The game is going alright so far. Better than last time, where I had to update the patch for the hack and start completely from scratch, so... That's a difference. Okay, I gotta give some of this shit to the bird. This. I think the seed is... I don't want all these cursed rings either. I wonder if the dancing dagger... I wonder if it's made of metal. Does it count? It's hard to tell. Sometimes, and like, there's a couple of weapons where you would think, oh, that's not gonna work, and it turns out you can use it. So we'll see. I think everybody else is good. Yeah, I think it was... I think it might have been 13. Oh shit. I guess the knife is too good to be true. Gotta add insult to injury there, don't you? Alright, the other thing we can try is the silver dagger. That probably isn't going to work either. Alright, the silver dagger is magnetic as well, so... Was on a giant floppy disk. Nice. Yeah, I remember those days. I guess he could use the staff, which is absolutely pathetic. One thing that doesn't change across versions of this game, the uselessness of Tella. It's like, sure, you think he might be cool because he has a very comprehensive library of powerful spells, but then you see his magic points, and you realize he can barely use them. He gets like three cool spells in, and he's spent. No, I don't. I do have that slumber sword, though, which it's probably going to be made of metal, though. I mean, let's be real. I have Kane's wind spear. That's probably not. I have a hand axe. Alright. By the way, if you're wondering why there's a particularly powerful suit of armor in that inventory, it's because when I was speeding through the game to get back to where I was, I did a little something to make it go faster. I had a save state editor thingy. But I'm going to try to be, fair and not just equip the godly equipment, even though I could. Like to have at least a little bit of a challenging playthrough. What is your opinion on banning of non-vaccinated kids in public places in Rock? Is that seriously something that... Wow, I did not hear about that. I mean, I guess I'm not exactly surprised because it's pretty important. I'm not sure how that's gonna help though, right? Because vaccinated kids would be protected from the unvaccinated ones. I mean, I guess there's cross-contamination between non-vaccinated kids, but yeah, I don't know. That's kind of strange. Is that just kind of like a power play to encourage people to do it, maybe? Because I don't know how much of an actual positive effect that would really have. You see that? It's 1488 damage. What is going on? I wish I was fast enough to grab a screenshot. I guess we could rewind the stream and get one. Why they never forget the damage. They won't let you. I don't even think we were that injured, but hey, why not? I did. I believe I did. Listen, you gotta get healing where you can take it, okay? You can't be picky in the middle of a dungeon. Yeah, it's probably a pentagram. I don't remember if this hammer is affected. I guess all we can do is give it a one battle try. Oh, it got turned around. Man, it seems like the encounter rate is just skyrocketed. Some Kaiser Knuckles. Yeah, I think this dungeon is pretty much the same, so no changes here. Yeah, I haven't played Darkstalkers in quite a while myself. I have I have the third one for PS1, and I also have a PS2 disc that I got from PlayAsia years ago for the Japanese PS2. That's a collection of the games. I should try to find that and I guess burn the disc to my computer. Maybe I can play it on the PS2 emulator. Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty underrated series that kind of gets lost in the mix. It's kind of funny. Capcom has so many of their own, fighting games and characters from just different franchises that they've done that they could do a crossover without Marvel involved at all. I think Sega did something like that, right? They did like Fighters Mega Mix or some shit. Felicia, I believe, is who you're referring to. The worst thing that happened to Darkstalkers, though, is that American Saturday morning cartoon version of it. I posted a video the other day on Twitter that I linked, that I found, where they just show you, it's a compilation of all the stupid crap that happens in that show, and it's just hilarious. We're supposed to get wiped out here, right? Yeah, okay. I mean, it's either that or she looks like a 45-year-old woman. It's just really weird. Hey guys, let's make a succubus not attractive. Yeah, I don't know what they were going for there, but they blew it big time. Alright, let's re-equip ourselves because we're free. We're finally free to use whatever we want. I think, gotta grab it out of here, though. So, we want the knight armor, gauntlet, light helmet. Let's make you not worthless. Guess I don't even have a helmet for him. Alright. Man, that sword, he's not not ready for that. He's pretty weak against that. Silver armor. I don't remember winning that from this guy. Wait, let's see. Is it worth it? 2? Yeah, I guess the difference is worth it. Although Sid could probably wear the silver armor instead. I'm trying to remember how much longer I have him in the party. Not too much, though. I don't think so. Yep. That's the better idea for now. I almost left without the crystal. Yeah, I like that they play the theme in here, in these crystal rooms. Can we just do the old exit? I should probably also do a state save in case there's any other kind of malfunctions. You never know. goodness. Let's congratulate Edward on the most useful thing he'll ever do. Please use the treasure in the basement. See, we now have permission. I'd like to know how she knows whether I'm lying or not. Okay, now the moment that I get back to the airship, I have to go to that other dungeon. Oh shit, I have to go all the way up here and get a bird, don't I? Supposedly, one of the Final Fantasy creators, I don't remember which person, but they said for the next one, 16, I guess it would be, they're gonna aim for a more fantasy-based Final Fantasy. That Final Fantasy should return to fantasy, which I can agree with. I don't know how that will manifest in whatever they decide to do with it next, but sounds like a decent start. Can I just have the birdie? All right. I don't think I definitely didn't need any items or equipment or anything, so we are ready. Agnes Philosophy Tech Demo. I haven't seen that. Okay. I bet since I leveled up Cecil, I probably could have returned to the ship before giving the crystal back and went and got like the treasure at Eblon and stuff. I think he's strong enough. Just trying to see if I'm passing up any treasure. I'll have to look it up after the stream and check it out. Wow, these guys are kind of kicking my ass. There we go, flame armor. I know you get like the flame sword in here and shield. I don't remember if there's a helmet or not. I think some of the armor sets were like incomplete. I think there's equipment for all of it. Shadow Tactics Blade of the Shogun. I don't think I know that. I've never played it myself, but I do know what you're referring to. What is going on? Oh, maybe I should use... Wow, I use a lot more magic points. Monsters, but this should be a sword? Holy shit. That was quite the attack. Once you hide inside the dead elephant to escape the guards, other games won't cut it. I guess the most I experienced was Metal Gear Solid hiding in the cardboard boxes. Do I really not have more high potions? Oh, shit. They actually do let you waste items in this game, so if you accidentally use a potion on somebody who's already maxed out, you use it. Yeah, I haven't played it in a while. I used to play that game all the time. All three of the Metal Gear Solid games. I did play 4 as well, but I only went through it once. It was kind of just a, you know, I want to see how the story concludes. I mean, I thought it was a good game, but definitely a lot of cutscenes. I feel like there was more cutscene than gameplay. It was like an interactive movie, basically. I mean, I was a little bit disappointed with 2 because you didn't get to play as Snake a lot, and that was really what I wanted at that point. I mean, I think everybody did, but I didn't hate it because of that. It grew on me. Well, it's like I always say, people ruin everything. Rear assault. That's gonna be rough on the hemorrhoids. I think there's a variation of that sprite that is called an Amazon, if I'm not, or something to that effect. Oh yeah, he cannot use because he is silenced. Who would have guessed? Wait, I don't have any... I guess I have a remedy. But isn't it like strong and empowering that he can do everything Snake can do while wearing heels? How can you mute somebody who doesn't even have magic? Yeah, he's not very useful. I will say that. It's basically just a punching bag. And taking... Oh, shit. Why did I do that? I like the Saga games. I like... personally, Saga Frontier is one... For PS1 is one of my favorite RPGs. I mean, it kind of sucks because, you know, it was a little bit rushed and there were things left out and whatnot. But overall, I really like it. If anyone knows how to mute someone without magic, I have an application. I'm married. Nice. Maybe you could try one of those remotes from the from Bed Bath and Beyond, like that Adam Sandler movie. I don't know. Man, not even 2 steps. I wonder if they messed with the encounter rate for this patch, or hack, or whatever. Because it feels like in the dungeons, I get new encounters a lot more. Yeah, I mean, I liked some of the characters' stories so much that I feel like they could have had their own game and I would have been happy with that. I mean, obviously, if it was its own game, their quest would have been longer, which would have been cool as well. this guy's gonna... Well, I guess he's not gonna summon the monster. He would have if he lived. Yeah, those are a pretty strange enemy. The Black Knight sprites look really cool, though. Those puppet master things or whatever they were called, they're really good though if you want to level up, because you just kill their minions and then they keep summoning another monster in their place, and that could just go on for quite some time. I gotta put some stuff away here. Don't need these. Oh, I probably should equip that. Oh no, guess not. I think there's another treasure in here. There's the shield. Can't you also make it where when you have the showdown with his brother, you can actually like take over and finish the quest with his brother instead? Sabin versus Vargas. That was yeah, that's pretty funny, I guess, when you think about it like that. Yeah, I've never done it myself, but I was reading that you can do that. I mean, hopefully it's not some stupid made-up rumor, but I'm pretty sure it's true. Yeah, it's been quite some time for me as well. I should probably revisit that before too long. You can use all of them on the PS version, really? I'm not sure if that's true of the Super Nintendo one, because I feel like you had to wait for the, you know, you level up and it's like devised a new blitz or whatever it says. Oh, you don't want to waste the wizard hat on a guy that's about to die. Spoilers. Oh no, I guess it isn't a complete set of armor. You just get the armor, the shield, yeah, and the sword. Maybe in the underground there's the rest or something. Because I think you can buy flame armor down there. We need magic. Alright, I think I will do these next two boss fights and then probably call it an evening. So we have Maga's sisters and then I think Barbarisia, or I don't know if they'll call her Val Valis or whatever they used to call her in the old version. Seems like they might. I think you gotta get rid of the... Oh damn. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is where they originated in Final Fantasy. I don't think they're in the third one for the NES. I think this is the first time. Well, I'm not a body positive person, so I'm showing my bias. Damn, we're actually kind of getting our asses beat. Well, I suppose those two are anyway. They seem to be pretty weak against magic. For a spellcaster, you'd think you'd have some sort of insight into defense against attack spells, but no. Wow, why did only certain ones do so much? Oh shit, he has wall on him. Well, I made a terrible blunder. Hopefully it heals one of them that we haven't hit. It's gonna hit the... Okay, okay. Nothing lost then. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna lose. It's just, a little bit tedious because of the whole wall thing. You can't really heal your party members as well. Of course. Why wouldn't a totally random spell instinctively take out somebody who's trying to heal? Like, why not? I know one of them has a life spell, so I don't remember which one, though. It might be the tall girl. Come on, Tella. Do your thing here. That was a very weak Cure 4. Uh-oh. I've always really liked that you can use a weapon as an item and it casts a spell. Oh no. Well, in that one they switched it to the shoulder buttons, right? Because in this one you just, you just press back again on the cursor and it works on everyone. See, that's why those that's why those training rooms exist. Child or midget, you decide. Although I'm not sure which is better, because some people would say that is extremely wrong as well. You can't win. There's a dwarf here. No, we haven't gotten to the underground yet. That's where the dwarves live. Yeah, it's old school joining. Paltry spells. Well, see, the game was designed in that problematic manner because if you don't kill the fat one first, then she revives the others. I think. Oh, here we go. Skype, haven't used that in some time.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. So I missed part of what was problematic.
Oh, because you have to fight, when you fight the Magus sisters, you have to kill the fat one first, really.
Oh, I that reminds me. Since I just finished that part in Secret of Evermore with the Queen, I was wondering, is that supposed to be fat positivity, or what was going on there? When you beat the boss, she gets mad and then she jumps off the balcony and she tries to squash you because she's morbidly obese, and when she misses, she causes the entire tower to collapse because she destroys the foundation. But I couldn't figure out if that was fat phobic or fat acceptance.
That is a good question. I mean, I guess because if it's a villain, then it's automatically bad because it's portraying them in a bad light.
But see, the way that it works in that game is that everybody has a doppelganger, or those are the doppelgangers, and so the original is actually the good guy.
Ah. Man, it's been a while since I played that. I barely remember the story. I mean, aside from the whole getting transported with that machine thing.
Yeah, it's what happens if we let the sex robots take over. That's the cautionary tale.
Oh, okay.
They're not going to have too much of our stuff for long, and they're going to want to rebel against humans and create a world where robots are in charge and humans are subservient.
You know, it's kind of hard to take Medio as the ultimate spell when it gets used. I don't know, this isn't even really halfway through the game, and then it doesn't do anything but break the guy's control over your party member.
Yeah, I used to joke because as you remember, I would level up excessively on Mount Ordeals until Palom learned Flare, because the twins actually learn what would normally be the second to last spell. They learn it last. So instead of learning whatever Porum learns, whatever Rosa learns last, Porum learns that second to last.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's a little different.
And so I don't know why, because I don't think they ever expected anybody to max out their spells, given how long you can use them. But I would joke that they made such a big deal about that when it's like, oh yeah, Palom was using that, right before you joined.
Oh, instead of getting real cozy, it says save the cuddles.
He is aromantic. I think that's what's going on there.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, you might not be interested in sex, but you like cuddling and holding hands and all that. You just get grossed out by the sight of nudity, I guess.
So basically, you're a kindergartner with a girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay.
I can say that as I discovered a certain kindergartner telling me that he had a girlfriend.
There we go.
I don't know how that happened.
I think that just means you talked to a girl one too many times or something.
Yeah, I guess so. But in current year, it seems that these kids are so eager to grow up. And I think in the translations and in the Japanese version, what Kane says to Valvalis was, much more interesting. And I don't know. I seem to like that when he was like, "You're not the only person that can take to the skies," and then you get into the battle.
Yeah, yeah, I do remember that line. That stupid petrification, though. I'm not sure I really understand why the air elemental turns you to stone, but
I don't know.
man, what does Rosa have for magic? We're dying out here.
Jumping will work. I bet it will.
Cure 3. All right.
Now, is this sex positive or what's going on here?
Oh, because she's showing so much skin.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure because surprisingly she's not censored.
Yeah, especially considering
I mean, they censored the dancer.
yeah, even though well, they kind of censored her, didn't they? Like they just put her in the clothes that she would wear when she would normally throw them off instead of what she has before she throws them off.
Yeah.
All that reminds me of is when they did censor the in Final Fantasy VI the Barb E's and the Chatternook, the female version of the painting.
Oh, yep.
Like I don't think anybody's going to be aroused looking at that, considering how creepy that boss looks.
Weren't
But maybe
weren't some of them smoking too?
yeah, the Barb E's were smoking. No, it's censored because I just saw them drop the ball, and the Japanese you would have they had a scythe that
Yeah,
fell.
yeah.
Or scythe.
Oh man, that Gale shit is just.
I get it. You have to use a soft on the men when Valvalus is around because one look and they're hard. You know what I'm saying, guys?
That explains the petrification.
That is the only female one, huh? Because I think in the original there were two females, for fiends.
Oh.
Yeah, there was Marilith and Tiamat.
Yeah. Not that you could really tell with Tiamat. I mean,
Yeah.
they said she, but yeah. Plus, I think it. I don't know. Is it what? Is the origin? Is the original Tiamat a female? I don't remember.
Yeah, I thought it was originally a female.
I think so. Oh, took her out.
So that was a gender balanced villain team there.
The gender balanced workforce.
There you go.
Yeah,
Everybody
but
equal pay for.
I was gonna say, but did they get paid the same amount? I don't know. I mean, Tiamat was technically in the highest position, right?
Yeah. She was. So maybe they should have had her as the spokesperson for Equal Pay Day.
Oh, the exact amount of damage. Well, this battle fell apart rather quickly.
Damn. I like that he doesn't try to protect Rosa. You know.
It's like, hey, I'm weak myself over here. You're on your own.
This battle fell apart, and so did she.
Sid just slapped a hoe with a hammer.
Yeah. Well, he is older. They did love to use the word perish in this game instead of like die and kill, which I find funny because Secret of Evermore, which was an American-made game, used all of those taboo terms without any issues.
Yeah, it's really strange and inconsistent. I don't get it.
Hold on to me, but she didn't ask Cecil for his consent.
Here comes the big secret. He doesn't have all the crystals. The dark ones exist too.
I thought for a minute there somebody was gonna start identifying as a different gender.
The magma key.
Which wasn't a key at all. Well, given what he names his airships, I think he identifies more as a Star Trek character. But which one? Probably Kirk, since I'm sure there's an article out there about how misogynist he is. And
Let me see what happened here. Oh boy. That's not supposed to be there.
Kane is on the left, so we know he's voting for Bernie.
Wait, now I'm supposed. Oh, I guess I'm kind of supposed to do whatever at this point. I mean, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I can do like the Eblon thing.
Yeah. Supposedly, when you are about to become a paladin, there's a level up peninsula in Mysidia that has the enemies from that Eblon dungeon.
Yeah, there is. I've been to it before. It doesn't have like ogres, but it has the creatures that are outside of Eblon Castle.
Okay.
Am I crazy? I thought it was. Okay, there we go. Definitely. Well, this seems stupid.
The Tower of Babel always looked like, I don't know, like smashed soda cans to me.
Yeah, it's the result of years and years of recycling.
Clearly, the world of Final Fantasy IV is doing all it can to fight climate change.
Well, they're building a tower directly to the sun.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you know that I remember I showed you that dumb flyer for the local March for Science nonsense.
Yeah.
Does anybody find the irony that we're going to get in our cars, drive to a central location, and then start walking around to protest using fossil fuels, among other things, for that apparently are the only factor in climate change, according to these people.
Yeah, it's to the moon, but I was making a global warming joke. Yeah, I've always kind of found that especially funny. Or like when the celebrities go on their jets and stuff.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm flying in for the March for Science. You realize getting in a plane pollutes more than if you were to actually drive a car. But sure, Well, if you break it down per passenger, no, it's still
Okay, we need a
more.
place for arrows.
Well, somebody asked how you can in the flyer or when online somebody asked how you can march for science or something. They said, "What's the opposite of that?" And the person one some person responded is like climate change denier, which I mean,
Those
science
are
is
just so stupid. Those labels are just so dumb. Like, why should anybody care if that's what you call them?
it becomes more hilarious when you think about the fact that these people don't have any idea what they're marching for. Because it's like, well, why is it a march for science if the antithesis of this is to, I guess, support denying climate change? Like that to me doesn't make any sense. Why would you need to, as the person asked, why would you need to march for science? Obviously the issue is that, oh well, we believe that there's not enough uh, research dollars for science, and obviously climate change is one of those things where they're lobbying to do that. But I still maintain that marching to your city center is going to accomplish all of about nothing in that aspect. Uh,
It's just one of those do something to say you're part of something things. I mean, that's. I'm sure that's
yeah.
the negative worldview version, but I don't know. I can't be
the
convinced.
the cynical worldview of that. I mean, that's all I see out of it, because of when they're like, oh well, we need more grant dollars for the sciences. They're cutting back on that, and it's like, well, when you see stuff like a study showing that, I don't know, if you eat too much food, you get fat. Yeah, then you tend to think, maybe we don't need to give you. Maybe you guys are doing too much nothing, because you're 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 publishing all these studies that either are obvious, we didn't need a study to tell us this, like, oh, there was a study like, oh, there are neurological differences between men and women. Yeah, you think.
Oh, that was I heard that sort of that thing recently because of that Twitch debate thing. Because you know how like Destiny and those guys, like, they love to do the whole study thing.
Yeah.
But that Nick Fuentes was saying you don't need a study for that, because it's something that you can just, it's just something that you can observe. It's just something that people know. So the idea that you need like a study, every time is just silly.
That and studies aren't even conclusive anyway, but we won't get into that. Yes, it is easy to publish a study. That is definitely part of the problem, and the other part of the problem is whoever is financing this study will almost always say this is the result we want. So you better make sure you get that result. Then all of a sudden your statistical experiment has to be modified so that you get the result that they want you to get. But as for how long people claim the earth is flat, no, that depends on what socioeconomic class you're talking about, because as long as Aristophanes is known that the world is round, the aristocracy, at the very least, in the Western world, has known that the earth is round, and the notion that everybody believed that the earth was flat until the 15th century or the 16th century.
It's not exactly true, right? I mean,
yeah, some people were arguing that came from academics who were very secular atheist types in the 19th century, that wanted people to believe that religion was holding things down, and therefore everybody believed the earth was flat back then, and it took the good old science to have them realize that it was actually round.
Science man good, God man bad.
Yeah, yeah. That was I can't remember which event heliocentrism was tied to. I keep thinking Spanish Inquisition, but with Galileo, that's what I think of.
Well, a lot of the ancient cultures seem to have a pretty decent knowledge of like stars and stuff like that and the positions of them. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. Well, he was actually able to prove it, and according to my scientific training, you can't believe something is true until you have done it for yourself, and or you've done the proof for yourself, and you accept it as it is, which is something I don't hear many people ever bring up. Uh, it's always, well, this person said it, so you have to accept it. When at least when I went into classes, they would say, okay, this is what it is, and we're going to show how you got there, but you have to decide. You have to try it for yourself and understand and observe it yourself in order for you to believe that yes, this is actually the case.
All right, let's see. Oh, I went the basement route. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. I always forget which side is which so that I can never do it in one run.
Yeah.
Oh, probably should have equipped the Slumber Sword. NASA took him. He got too close to the truth.
You have to love though that you can be a flat earther, but also have the ability to build your own rocket. Like have the intellectual capacity to understand. That's what makes some of this very disconcerting to me, because people will say, well, if a person is smart, then they just know everything, and it's like, well, they might know some things. They might be very aware and understanding of certain things, but that doesn't. I mean, the common case where we see this is where we have professors who may be professors of one thing, and they're making commentaries on something that has nothing to do with their research area, doesn't have anything to do with their subject area, but they're like I don't know, science professors opining on politics as though they're experts in politics. Like, no, I don't need to hear your opinion on politics, because you're just as ill-informed as I am.
I'm more of a Hollow Earth guy.
Oh, then I guess
Agatha Master Race.
I was going to say, is that why you're taking so long to do the next part of this game?
Well, there is some weird stuff like with I'm not saying the Earth is definitely hollow or something like that, but there is some weird stuff with like Antarctica and there being potentially like leftovers from ancient civilizations or something like that. Kind of hard to say given all the ice, but you know.
Yeah. I'm of the unpopular opinion that I don't think we'll find all of the answers out, and especially in the current year generation, you're not allowed to think that.
I mean, I don't think so either, but I think that there are some anomalous holes in the current story of things. Like there's those weird, like really weird situations where they find, you know, human footprints near something where it shouldn't be possible. So I don't know.
Rainbows, there you go.
Okay, wait, is that staircase then?
We need more rainbows and more days of visibility.
What I don't, I guess what I don't like is, all right, yeah, there's some really fucking crazy theories out there, but I really don't like it when right away the answer for anything that like deviates from the norm that you've been taught is like, oh, you're just being anti-intellectual, or you're just making up conspiracies, or like, if you don't have the freedom to think outside of what you're being taught, then how do you think the people that know what they know now came to know it? They didn't just get it handed to them. There was a point where that was a controversial or strange idea, and then, they found out that it wasn't so crazy. That doesn't make all
Uh,
crazy ideas true, but it just leaves it open for, possibility.
yeah, and people get really egotistical about that kind of thing because, I mean, I used to see it even back when I was more heavily into mathematics research, and it's like, yeah, you even see professors who, even in textbooks, they'll kind of write these things where they kind of turn their nose up at something because, oh, it sounds ridiculous, and we've proven that it's not. But at the same time, you're telling me, well, there are these axioms that kind of create a circular logic. To prove one, you need the other, so you can't prove the two things individually. And the excuse I got for that was that they just hand wave that. They just say, "Oh well, we've seen it enough times where we think, well, it's just true." And in every case, we're willing to take that gamble that it's true in all cases. And like, yeah, that's that seems reasonable. That it's highly unlikely, but that it would be any different. But we don't have a complete knowledge over even that area of number theory, so we can trust but verify, I guess, has always been my position. And you shouldn't want to stifle intellectual curiosity, but uh, I do think there is a. I mean, you remember that cliche, and I don't remember if you brought it up in a video or if I brought it up in a stream or something. But when you always hear like, oh, people would say they would give this really simplistic answer as to why something is what it is, and people would say, oh well, I guess I don't have to. Like, people have this attitude where they think, oh well, I guess I don't have to ask any more about how this came into being, because they just said, oh well, this mythical being created it for him. And I'm like, that's not. I don't know too many people that
That just
would do
stop
that.
there.
Yeah, that would just stop there. And if they would stop there, they were never going to be contributing to the scientific community anyway. Like, they want to go and say, oh well, it's because of that we haven't been able to progress scientifically. And it's like, the people that would just accept that as an answer and walk away wouldn't
Weren't
be,
gonna be helping.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell them you could tell them what in more detail and more rigorous detail, and they still won't do anything different. So I don't know. To me, it's all ridiculous. And my big problem now is that
Oh, they're selling
is
some good stuff.
is nobody wants to admit that they're ignorant on something, especially now on the internet. Nobody can just say, you know what, I don't know
I
something
hate
about that.
If I don't know something, I usually don't talk about it, like, because it just doesn't occur to me to try to pretend. Or if somebody, like, even if somebody asks me something in the stream chat where it's not a topic I'm any at all versed on, I'll just say I don't know. It's not a big deal. Just, you don't know. You can't know
Well,
everything. Like,
when people are shown that they might be wrong, almost the instinctive reaction is to double down, almost every time.
yeah, I mean, that is true.
I would say the corollary to just scoffing at things that are being crazy is that those that believe the crazy things then also at the same time believe that they're more intellectual. They're red pilled, which I can't stand that. I can't stand the I'm taking the red pill on this. It's like if you haven't asked yourself the same critical thinking questions you think of the thing that would make you blue pill, then I don't want to hear anything about how you somehow have this better understanding, because it always seems that you have this usually a very cynical view of the one thing, but you totally ignore another piece of it, and you just say, well, I don't have to worry about that part of things. I just have to worry about this issue.
Man, these are
I
some
don't have.
good arrows.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are you do you have a cheat enabled that gets you maximum
So
GP?
what happened was I was using that thing when I started over. I was using that editor, and I got some money, and it didn't run out, so I got money.
And that your white privilege at work?
I mean, it took a little bit of effort, but yeah, I guess.
Oh, so now you're one of those successful millionaires going on LinkedIn talking about how the reason that the rest of us can't create $5 billion businesses is simply because we just don't work hard
Yeah,
enough.
I'm gonna make Cecil a LinkedIn profile, and he's gonna start
Mhm.
posting about how he accumulated his riches.
And how he saved the world, and
Where the
like before I turned 30, I saved the world and accumulated a fortune, became king of a nation. What did you do?
Now here's a weird thing. Why do they have dark armor in this town when you're
You
not
can
getting
never.
here as a Dark Knight?
Do you remember if that was part of the original, or was maybe that's a cheat only thing?
I mean, there's nothing enabled or anything now, like, or do you just mean you would have to cheat to get here at that time?
Yeah, I'm saying either did they, for whatever reason, think that they would change something so that you could go there as a Dark Knight, or were they thinking the only way you can get here is cheating?
Oh, I mean, I guess that's possible. Because I haven't come across too many changes yet. I mean, this is uh, the arrows and whatnot here, and the weapons, I guess, are a little bit more advanced than I remember. But I haven't noticed too many other changes quite yet. Do I need to get rid of stuff? I feel like I do. All these items that let you use. Why do I have a magazine already?
Uh-oh.
We'll
We have to.
save that for later. All right.
I guess nationality is a very sensitive thing. Although I don't want to sound like agorist, so I'm not going to comment on my opinions on nationality, but
Oh shit!
I
I
will
didn't look at this.
I will say that maybe Galileo was in the Astro Tower. I like that this is pretty much the only place in this game where you can get the scholar sprites from FF3.
Yeah, that's interesting. This is a very anti-intellectual world.
Yeah, they believe in magic and things like that. I need to find the video, but I remember I looked through a video of Arc the Lad, Twilight the Spirits, and um, they were talking about or the monsters were talking about humans, and one of them was like, they use they use this human type of magic they call science. I'm curious how a stone of magma can create a hole in a mountain.
Must set off a volcano or something.
I guess so.
Yang is very American. Look at that HP.
Yeah, yeah, he is. He's also very American because his HP caps after a certain level. And he won't grow anymore.
Alright, so I guess... No, I want to go to that Silveria or Mithril or whatever they call it in this game, this version.
What's that yellow text I see on the bottom there? I don't remember that in a Super Nintendo.
Yellow text?
Yeah, there was something about saved Final Fantasy 4.
Oh, the save state that I did, yeah.
I don't remember that in Super Nintendo. Don't you need to be able to get attached to the hoverboard?
Yeah, I can't do that part, but I can collect whatever stupid treasures laying around, I guess. I like how for some reason the different creatures all have different jobs here for some reason. I still don't understand why there's pigs and frogs and little people running a village, but it's cool, I guess.
Well, it's disability acceptance. No ableists allowed here.
Wait, that was a silver gauntlet? That didn't look like a gauntlet. Interesting.
I should create a rap group called Petty by Nature.
There we go.
Also, I think one of them will turn you into a pig in this town. Yeah, there's always that possibility you'll turn into Tess Holiday. Or that girl in that Gillette Venus.
Oh man, what in the world? I mean, for people that claim to care about people, they sure don't care about their lifespans very much.
No, we need to. Maybe the issue is that we've exceeded carrying capacity, and this is just leveling off the population. All of this nonsense is just to level off the population.
Well, maybe that is true. All under the guise of promoting different lifestyles. It works out perfectly, I think.
But according to the intellectual heavyweight that is Maddox, we shouldn't accept the notion of carrying capacity because it was a concept created by Thomas Malthus, and because he erroneously expected that we would still be using horses in the late 19th century or the early 20th century. He therefore is wrong about everything he's ever thought of.
Huh.
So the fact that population growth is a differential equation, to him is not valid just because he was wrong about us using horses for transportation.
Well, he had a problem with horses too, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a problem with horses.
That's part of it.
Which makes me wonder if he retweets any AOC stuff.
Some lady did a parody video of her It's hanging around on Twitter. I probably should have grabbed the link to that.
If I remember correctly, he was like, "Oh, well, Thomas Malthus said that London would be covered in horse dung because the population would grow so much that we wouldn't be." It was I know the problem I think was like population alarmists, where he was complaining about people saying that, oh, we're there are just too many people in the world and we need to stop having that many or reproducing that much, which is not really a problem in the Western world,
yeah,
especially.
I'm sick of that narrative. That's really strange. I don't even want to begin to that's triggering territory.
Well, nobody said he was an intelligent man except for himself. I mean, he almost got a math degree. I mean, do you know any math majors? I don't think so.
No, not at all.
Mm-mm.
Something red went under the North Mountains. Okay.
I mean, we were already talking about AOC, so.
Well, I guess underground we go. Oh, don't we lose Sid right away?
Not right away, but close enough.
Is this when he jumps off or no? No, that's not right. That's
no,
not
this
yet.
this isn't when he jumps off.
I gotta remember to unequip him. If there's one thing I like to do, it's steal the equipment from party members so I know we're leaving the party.
As God intended. How exactly did the Red Wings get here?
Yeah, that I have not figured that part out.
Average or slightly below average, but then I finished school and started working. I think I might be almost smart. I mean, I think I'm still. Whenever I go to work, I always feel like I don't understand anything because I don't understand jargon. So everybody uses all of these terms, but then it's like, yeah, you are using terms and jargon only related to stuff you've been working on for years and years that I've only gotten up to speed about in the last week. Because like they love to use all of these complicated terms for things, and I'm like, that there's a simpler word for that. Can't we just call it the simpler term? But somebody needs to go waste more money, more of that scientific grant money on doing studies to see that, well, if we use jargon, that makes us look smarter.
That's just. Should I just sell? Yeah, I probably should. Damn it.
I don't know anything. I'm illiterate and I didn't graduate. All that stuff. I find it insufferable to be like Destiny, where you think you know everything, and there's always this cliche, and once again, it's more snake oil pushed by the positive speaking, platitude dispensing rich person circle, where they'll say, oh, well, in order to be better, you need to be around people who are way better than you.
Oh,
and it's like, yeah, I do that, and then I spend enough time and I realize that yeah, they don't really know what they're talking about.
I just end up stuck around people who think they're better.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
Well, I mean, there's a whole lot of that on social media.
Oh, geez,
That's
yeah, there's absolutely no shortage at all.
like we all laugh about the YouTube and Twitch and all those idiots, but it gets even more frustrating in the your professional life, your career, where you see the same kind of stuff and like the same kind of egos, just wearing a business casual instead of, I don't know, a video game shirt or whatever Destiny wears, clothes from Barbie dolls, whatever can fit him. I better be careful.
Don't be dehumanizing, my dude.
I've I've seen him pump iron, man.
5 whole pounds.
Yeah.
All right, let's see
And
if I
then
can make this battle work.
I used to be able to beat that thing without it splitting up into separate dolls, and I have not been able to do that in a
So
long
I've
time.
I've been able to beat it without them even transforming in the first place. It's
Oh yeah, that's what I meant to say. I've done that before, but it's been a long time since I've
yeah,
been able to get
it's kind
through it.
of hard to do it consistently. Well, I mean, a bitch is probably the only thing you can get away with choking.
Nah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the 14-year-old he debated could probably take him.
All right, let's see. The ones in the back row have more HP, I think.
That and you do less damage
Yeah.
because they're in the back row.
Wow, that does every status effect in the book.
Yeah, just now saw that. Charmed, oh boy! I think speaking of celebrities, I think I've had enough of Alyssa Milano.
What happened since Who's the Boss?
Oh, her Twitter is what happened.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I saw some of the. That's one of those things where I don't know. There's so many people responding. I mean, I guess that happens a lot, but it's weird.
It's like when Trump makes a comment and then you have all these people that are going and basically reeing at him, and it's like, you really think you think anybody's paying attention to that other than the people that are going to give you the pats on the back?
I was so close. How did it turn into the big
I
doll
would
with
have
only
with
one? I was one hit away from winning. I should have refrained from using Kane and waited until the next character, because Yang would have killed him. All that just to have to fight the idiot anyway. Let's make Cecil angry. You won't like him when he's angry.
The blonde TA, I don't know what TA means
I
here.
destroyed him. Or her. Or whatever.
Yeah, they just really loved the Divine Comedy, and they had to bring up as many things from that book as they could.
Oh, right. I forgot about this part of it.
The part where you can warp back in and get the crystal?
I've never
Or
actually done that. I mean, I know about it, but I've never done it myself.
I've done it probably 2 or 3 times.
I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah, I mean this is the final battle and everything.
I like to try to have Kane in the air so that he doesn't get killed, but there goes that. Witness true terror.
Golbez joined ISIS. At least it's not that dimension whatever attack.
Demolish instead.
Well, that could be just as bad.
Yeah, they do look pretty similar. The sprite version. I guess Yang's hair is thinner and he's bald except for the one ponytail. That would be the big difference.
Well, I mean, they are both. They do both have Asian classes, or classes that are based on Asian occupations. Cyan was a samurai, and the Japanese claims that Yang is a monk priest.
All right, let's bring back as many people to life as we can and get this full party going.
Rydia is back as an adult, so all the minor attracted persons will feel less guilty about their crush on her.
Hey, no need for that anymore.
Oh no. Not. I didn't know she was a teacher's assistant. I thought she was a professor. But I mean, I'm not surprised that that woman would do that. The minute I saw that she was a sociology professor, like, well, okay. At Wash U, yeah, and that's about what I would expect.
Learn Psych. And Mini.
Well, you beat the game, so there you go.
Don't even need to use those spells. Oh no, not the Esperland. That's not right.
Oh boy. Esperland sounds like something from...
It's like a theme park.
Yeah.
Come ride the Palador. I forgot what they call them in the new version.
I'm trying to think of it.
Quetzalcoatl or something.
Yeah. Just like in Final Fantasy VIII, which is, I mean, that's the best game in the series, as far as I'm concerned. You go to the moon, just like in this game, except whereas this game kind of introduced the fact that the moon might be important. Yeah, they just threw it in disc 3.
Yeah. I think there's a very easy answer to that question. It's because it's about power.
Even as a kid, I would sit there and wonder, why are you letting this gigantic hand just go and take this thing? Why aren't you killing it?
Yeah, zap it with your magic or something. Summon one of those wonderful espers from Esperland.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VIII it's the best. I mean, I think you really need to go and play through it again, especially let's say the end of disc 2. I mean, that was the plot twist of the millisecond. And like I said, the space thing. The whole entire game you've been playing it, you're just on land and you're talking about stuff and you're trying to defeat sorceresses, and then all of a sudden we got to go space, dog. I mean,
To fight
Hey,
transgender sorceresses.
yeah. Men that are sorceresses. Yeah, there you go. And then who could forget that excellent plot device of what was that? That plot mechanic of the time compression. I mean, that makes sense. Find some sort of way to combine all time periods into one, and somehow that will let you do something. It's a great classic game, guys. You all need to play it. You know, um, GFs are in the game. So if you've never had a girlfriend before, there you go. Uh, what else? What else did the game have? Um, had gun blades. I mean, there's no other game other than Parasite Eve 2 where they had a gun blade in a SquareSoft game anyway. And so you had timed attacks. That actually was something I did like. Facetiousness aside,
Timed attacks are cool.
I didn't like the characters, but yeah, there's not a character in Final Fantasy VIII that I like.
Whoa, that's a great dagger. Definitely need to change that formation, though. Man, Kane has... I don't know, his hit points seem pathetic.
Starting with the second one, at least, because the first game, the main character used the sword until the remake, and then Wild Arms went back to its or it retained that Western theme with the guns. But yeah, Ashley Winchester has a gun blade. But that game came out after Final Fantasy VIII, so or Wild Arms 2 did, and I need to finish it. Uh, I'm on disc 2. I don't want to have to fight those special bosses. I probably just will stop doing it.
Let's see, what am I doing? I know I need to go through the basement, but is there anything left in the castle? I don't think so. Oh wait, no, towers. Which are not that way. The war against Golbez. Oh, damn it. Dashed right down the stairs.
It's an unpopular opinion to say 2 is better than the first, but I prefer 2 to the first one. My loving wife does not agree with me. She thinks the first one is the best out of all of them. And as we know, women are always wrong, so I like, although they played it straight in disc 2, I do like the main conflict in disc 1. I thought that was much more interesting than what its contemporaries were doing at the time.
Strength. I guess they replaced some of the item icons. That's what I'm noticing.
A few maybe. They probably took it from 5. Whatever they added probably came from Final
I can
Fantasy
also
V.
equip a dwarf axe or a flail. They're a lot weaker though. Is it a lot weaker? Yeah.
Wouldn't Dwarf Axe be for Destiny?
You would think so.
I still don't know why he gave himself the moniker of that a stripper would give herself.
Because he's like, oh, it was a cool word or whatever. It's the concept, not the stripper, I guess. Still, he shouldn't have ownership over it.
No, he shouldn't. I have not played Vanguard Bandits. I've seen gameplay of it, but I don't think I've played it. Well, I know I haven't played it. It will probably be something on my to play list since I've been playing a lot of PS1 games up until this week.
Alright, what if... Aside from going into the wrong room, jeez.
I finally finished every character's story in Saga Frontier. Got the good ending in Parasite Eve 2 this time.
Oh, there's multiple endings?
Yeah, there are 3 endings.
Oh, I didn't even need to use the end. There's that bucket down here.
That doesn't make up for the tank controls. I'm just saying that because last time I talked about tank controls on a stream, somebody got mad. So I'm seeing if I can.
Some of the people here were actually present for that one.
Yeah, so I'm trying to goad people into telling me that tank controls are a gift from heaven and they're the greatest thing ever to come out of whatever PC game they originated from. Eve's combat mechanic? Which one, the first or the second? Well, that's how the conversation came up. Somebody asked if we were interested in the Resident Evil 2 remake, and I said, yeah, I am, and I am definitely interested in buying it, especially if it doesn't have tank controls. And then that led to somebody giving a bunch of reasons why they thought it was good, and I gave reasons why I disagreed, and apparently they were on the side of reason and rationality and logic and facts, and my argument of those controls were more a consequence of the limitations of the time period and not necessarily a conscious choice. Conscious insofar as, well, if we want to make a game like Resident Evil 2, we should probably make the controls like it, but not so much as whoever originally decided to make that the best control. They were doing it because of the limitations at the time.
It was funny because he had like, facts don't care about your feelings. Then, fuck you guys, I'm out. 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
Like, wait a sec.
Yeah.
Who's feeling emotional?
Well, all because I said I didn't care about the opinion of some random person online. That's what set him off.
I mean, he could have just been like, we're all random. Like, what difference?
I remember when the first game came out, people were comparing the combat system to Chrono Trigger. At that point, I never played Chrono Trigger, so I couldn't say yay or nay on that, but now I can say yeah. One person in particular, Razorfist, says it's more like Quest 64's uh, combat system, but I do see the Chrono Trigger comparisons as well. I think that's pretty close, so it doesn't bother me.
For
I
which
mean,
game now?
for Parasite Eve, the first one,
Uh,
but even the second one, for all of its tank controlled nonsense, it that combat system doesn't bother me either. I just don't like when people are trying to insist that it can't be what it is when people bring up remakes. Like in the one of the forums, they were saying, "Oh, they should remake it," and then they were like, "Well, it won't be Parasite E2 without the tank controls, or that it'll lose its essence." Like, no,
oh no.
are you going to tell me that you want pre-rendered backgrounds still, and you want fixed camera angles? Because that was the only reason that you had the fixed camera angles, is because it was pre-rendered background.
All right, so the Underworld map has changed, and I'm a little lost.
Uh-oh.
I think I see one of those, like that hole up ahead, the icon that usually, yeah, right there, usually that you leave the underground out of. But it doesn't do anything when I step on it. That's weird.
Yes, people want to push their own agendas in these remakes. There's a particular remake in that we know very well, where the agenda of that time period was we need to increase the difficulty of the game, and that not only made the remake of it less fun, it wasn't difficult either. Rear assault. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I said earlier that was going to be rough on the hemorrhoids.
Well, this is my favorite enemy in the game. Oh, this game, Final Fantasy IV, the DS remake. I remember reading developer interviews and everything, and they even had a blog where they would chronicle what they were doing every week, and they were always talking about increasing difficulty, and then they also said that they wanted it to be accessible to the original generation that played it and to the new generation of gamers that were going to play the game.
So, but now if they were trying to appeal to the new generation today, there'd have to be an easy mode.
Right. So increased difficulty wouldn't work 12 years later. Well, the PC remake is a DS remake, more or less.
It's based off of it at the very least. I don't. There are some differences. Oddly enough, I was looking into it not too long ago. But it's based off of the DS one at the very least, so I don't know if it's different enough in the difficulty department to really differentiate it. What in the world did they do to this map? Because it just seems butchered. All right, let me try.
Kind of like ripping your skin up to make a prosthetic penis.
Ugh, something like that. Alright, wait. I think it's called a magic map. I know it's here somewhere. Where are you?
Once upon a time, I used to want to be a journalist, and that changed when I was 18, I think.
I guess people have kind of ruined that.
No, I had to write an article, and I got to see firsthand what happens when you're a journalist. You may write an article, and your editor will completely butcher it and make it something else altogether. Well, the site spell does this. What Magic Map does.
Yeah, I figured that's what it was an alternate of, but for some reason I don't see sight, so it may have been removed from the game to make way for other spells or something, because I know they added other magic.
I sure hope so.
I mean, sight was pretty worthless. I don't really... What was the point of that? Was there? Have you ever read an explanation or anything? I never seen anything.
No, I have not gotten a reason why that even existed.
Very strange choice. Kind of just seemed like a thing where, like, well, we're kind of out of spell ideas. We got this one slot. Maybe we could just let people zoom out and appreciate our map work, our cartography skills.
Yeah, I think I've had enough of developers jerking off and wanting me to catch the splooge. There are a couple of games like that where I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna sit back and let you guys just jerk off, because clearly you didn't make this game so that I can play it. You made it so you can show off what you know how to do.
Get out your welding mask.
Yeah. Like when you guys are ready to rejoin the kingdom of man, then I'll play your game again. But
all right, I think on that note, I'm gonna call the stream here. I've gotten as far as I can get this evening. But next time, the Tower of Babel from the underground. So tune in or something. Keep your channel notifications on, and I guess I always post on Twitter when I'm going live, so there's that. All right, thank you everybody for watching, and see you next time. Thanks for coming.